Welcome to SFN, your preeminent source for space and defense news and all things tangentially related. We're your hosts, loyal to the foil here at Houston, Mission Control. And we've got Alara of Sirius in low Earth orbit. And we're here live every Sunday night.
Space Patriots, happy Sunday fun day. It is Sunday evening. You are watching the one and only Space Force News, of course. This is episode number 49. What's going on, family? How's everybody doing tonight? We got good vibes going? Is everybody feeling the vibes? What's up, Foil? How are you?
What's up? What's up with you?
I thought you were gonna be muted for a second. I was ready to yell mute gate at you, but then it didn't happen. Yeah.
Nope.
No. I'm good,
I got
man.
This.
I'm good. It rained. It never rains here. It rained.
What?
I was enjoying
You mean
it.
Sky water?
Yeah.
You guys got sky water?
Yeah, for like a whole
crazy.
2 hours it rained. It was pretty cool.
Wow. I
Yeah.
bet you love that.
Yeah, it was good stuff. I was excited
Right?
about it. Oh, and I saved a bumblebee, you guys. I saved a bumblebee. Yeah, so it was drowning and I took it out. I got a little piece of cardboard and I took it out and I put it out to dry and I didn't think he was going to make it. I really didn't think it was going to work out well for this guy. And then all of a sudden I went out there and he was gone. He took off.
Aw.
He made it. So yeah, I'm really happy for my bumblebee. What's going on, Cad Spotter, Michelle, Janae, Jimmy James, Rainbow Snuggle Fritz, Fearless, Samantha, Michael Scott, Nancy Lucky, Monkey, LA Addict, Solrico, Inez, Graham Sutherland. How's it going, friend? Morning Flower, Greg Herrera, Kiz. Hey, Barefoot Patriotess. What's up, Bodyguard? I see the legend out there, Gaming Farmer, Desert Fire, The First Branch. What's going on, fam? Better
What up,
Lately's
peeps?
in the house. Better Lately. Woohoo. Hey, Disco Daphne. Good to see you. Wonder Mod. Good to see
Bumblebee
you.
tuna.
Yeah. I saved it. You know, I feel good. I saved a life today. What's up, Suitor Bug? I haven't seen you in a minute.
Hi.
How have you been, friend? Good to have you back around. And welcome to all the new friends that we may not be familiar with. Hi, Jonah Sark.
Yes, welcome, new friends.
Yeah. So I don't know. The bumblebee just made my day, dude. It really did.
That's good. I sent you that video of like other people saving bumblebees. Like you inspired
Yeah, I
me to
saw
be
that.
interested in saving bumblebees.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, I never really
right.
looked at a bumblebee before. I looked at it and I was like, this guy's cool. You know what I mean? I hope.
Yeah, they're big, fuzzy, kind of cute.
Yeah,
like
they're not,
I
like-
can rock with the bumblebees. They're not like the evil waspy ones.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, they're totally
Right.
cool. They're totally cool. All right, so let's see. What are we going to be going into tonight, guys? We are going to
Bruh.
be going into a little bit of a lot of things, huh?
Yeah. Do
All
we
right.
even know?
We're gonna be going into the new space weapon. Just what little we do know about it so far. All the details obviously are not out because of what wasn't the excuse last week, the Rona or something. I don't know, something like that.
There's always something.
All right, we're gonna go into GPS and Space Force, next generation missile monitoring, Amazon and the FCC. Tesla is going to be selling electricity, or at least they would like to be doing that. Bezos versus SpaceX, Taliban Russian relations, Pentagon speaks with the Chinese military, U.S. foreign policy renewal, toilet privacy. You would think that would be a given, right? But no.
No.
Not in 2021. It's not. Nope.
Not in the now times.
Nope. Microgravity DNA repair with the aid of CRISPR, our
course.
fabulous buddy CRISPR. Yeah. God of Death Whale, Grand Canyon missing rocks, Science Corp, copyright ownership of the moon, ADX Codex data storage and DNA. Senators continue UFO research, and we're going to be going through a flying saucer review from 1957. So we can all kind of take a look at how they used to speak openly about the high strangeness going on
Right.
planet Earth, and now they do not. So
Now they do not.
Now they do not. It's all classified, and then we get some pseudo profound bullshit from the government, and that's it.
Always.
That's what we get. So yeah, we will be going into some of that stuff. You guys know the drill: UFOs, space weather, all that type of stuff. That's what we'll be doing. We're not really running commercials anymore, friends. We know that
Nope.
used to be the routine right now, but we've decided we're just not doing that anymore. So, So that's where we're at. We won't be running the commercials anymore. I will go ahead and thank the super chats real quick, and then we will go to a bit of humor to start the evening. A bit of humor. Psycho Sofofer. You got to make your a name easier for me because Commander Alara cannot pronounce anything. I don't know. It's Psylosopher or something like that. Thank you for your support, friend. Morning Flower, Coys, Nick Houston, J9, Phil Christophers, and Leyland. And we try to catch all the gold pills as they are going by. So that tends to be the easiest way for us to do that. Thank you, Sean Joe, for the cookie.
Right.
Did you already get Sean? Which? Okay. All right, great. Yeah. So, yeah, here we are. Hey, Amethyst Cat. What's going on? Austin Morris. Toilet privacy, Darren. Toilet privacy.
It's totally going to be a thing.
You know.
They're invading. I mean, of course.
They have to invade our turds.
They want to be all up in your shit, man.
That's great. All right, so let's start with a bit of comedy here. Let's roll off with that. How about that, Foil? What do you think?
There you go.
Let's do that. Okay. So shout out to DeFranzer because he makes dank memes, and shout out to him for this awesome. What would you call it? I don't know, but it's great. I don't know, but it's great. Oh no, I gotta get us off.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Thanks to
Best
your
meme.
support, you've helped make MyPillow become one of the fastest growing companies in America. Yet another chapter. Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Thanks to your support,
I can't believe that this dude fell asleep.
Bruh.
That was brilliant.
Do you know how embarrassing that is? Like, I mean, not like we don't expect
an
it
international
at this point, but
diplomatic televised meeting.
Right.
He crashed, guys. He went out. Crashed.
Right.
Who does that?
Like, do you know our allies are sitting there like, these guys cannot help us. They're like calling up Putin and China and shit like, hey, we're cool.
Mike Lindell
like,
with the pillow, though. Mike Lindell with the pillow.
I know, right?
The perfect way to respond to that. Absolute
right.
perfect
Promo
way
code
to respond
POSO.
This planet is getting wild, dude.
I know. Shenanigans.
I don't feel unaffected by it today, though. I really do. I felt not unaffected. I just,
You want me to wave it away for you?
I see things that are happening that are in our favor. You know what I mean? And so I'm not as, I don't really let stuff stress me out anyways.
You can't. You can't let it make you jaded, man. You can't let it, because you personally affect the people around you. So all you can do is be the best you. Just be the best you, man.
Be present in the present moment. You know what I mean? You can't let your head get into the future or go back into the past too much, because it's better just to be present in the present moment.
You can't change the past. The future hasn't happened yet.
Right.
All you got is now.
And if you learn to cope with the present moment as best you can, then you're always winning, right? Does that make any sense? Maybe not. Maybe not. Anyways, okay, so should we jump into the news now? You think? Well, is it time?
Hey,
should we do that?
Is it time? We can do that.
Is it about that time? All right, let's start with the Space Force news, friends.
Space Force.
All right, let me get our heads back. We can get everything under control. Yes, I agree, Truth Junkie. He is absolutely a sick freaking joke, man. EO2 Dave coming with the shades. Somebody should get a jump on the newest movie, Sex in Space. I haven't heard about Sex in Space. Is this a thing, or am I being trolled right now?
Could go either way.
Right.
I don't really know.
Inquiring minds would like to know. The U.S. military is considering revealing a new space weapon, but what do we actually know about it? The weapon was originally all set to be declassified at the launch of the U.S. Space Force to announce that not only did the U.S. have a new military branch, but it had weapons too. Dun dun dun. We need a dun 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 sound.
Right, I don't have that.
But there was a tiny issue of a pandemic to contend with. What makes the mysterious weapon all that more intriguing is that it is shrouded in the darkest of veils, known as a special access program. We've never heard of those before, right, Foyle? I have no idea
No.
what those are. The highest level of classification in the U.S. military. While we may have to wait a little longer before the big reveal, there are some morsels of information we can use to make an educated guess. Real value of counterspace weapons lies not in what they can do, but in how they come to act as a deterrent, and herein resides the reason for which the U.S. military is considering declassifying its space weapon. So what could it be? Some experts are betting on it being a radio frequency jammer hosted on maneuverable satellites that the U.S. already has in space. Some have also speculated that these satellites could have an onboard power laser.
Space lasers.
Space lasers. Yep. You know they got space lasers up there. Come on
Space
now.
laser. Right.
They've had space lasers forever. Such lasers could be deployed to cause critical damage to strategic targets in space, be it another satellite or a spacecraft. The possibility of a kinetic weapon like a set of hunter-killer satellites also cannot be ruled out. Simply put, these are satellites that track down enemy targets in space and collide with them. Finally, the reveal may have something to do with the U.S. enigmatic X-37B. Is that Joe Dirt plane? Is that
That's the Joe Dirt plane.
That's the Joe Dirt plane. All right.
Shout out Joe Dirt plane.
Right. Shout out to the Joe Dirt plane. Finally, they revealed they may have something to do with the U.S. enigmatic X-37B Joe Dirt space plane used in February and May last year to launch several satellites into space, none of which were officially cataloged in the country's public database of satellites. This may suggest that the X-37B Joe Dirt spaceplane may have a mission to serve as a covert satellite deployment platform. Ooh, buddy!
Great.
Oh, man.
I feel so much better now.
The secret...
Right? Duct tape and chicken wire taking our satellites up there. Fantastic.
Right? The secrecy surrounding both the X-37B and the deployment may indicate that they are part of a covert intelligence program. But it may also indicate the testing of offensive technologies or capabilities. Joe Dirt is a secret satellite launching device. I hope they bring a lot of duct tape in there when they go up there.
We
and
are
launch the
done
satellite.
for. Joe Dirt space plane.
Anyways, okay, so protecting GPS is the Space Force's most important job, according to their new commercial. So we went from remember the commercial, the first commercial. It was like, do you want to work in space? It was all like dreamy and like
I was like
hyped
amped up. Like I want to work in
hype,
space.
hype. Yeah, it was all hype. Now we've resorted to look, check this out. Wait, I tried to get the highlights from it. We could watch the commercial if you want, but it's really not that entertaining, guys. Why is the Space Force mission so important? Well, in a nutshell, because it protects the GPS that lets your phone tell you that you missed your exit on the way to that new fish taco joint.
Oh, that's super important.
At least that was the go-to response given by two Guardians in a new recruiting commercial for the service that aired on Tuesday. The most important thing that the Space Force supports from the perspective of a civilian is the fact that we have GPS. That is something that is leveraged by an individual, companies, banks, all sorts of financial institutions. So from the outside looking in, that's probably the most important thing that we rely on. 24 satellites, which make up the global positioning system, are responsible for everything from finding your way to the restaurant to keeping your power running to making sure the ATM works when you need more cash to pay for all those fish tacos.
Oh, thank God.
It's a clever writer. All right, I gotta set my water down. You didn't gulp me this time.
I was debating it in my head as you were mentioning it.
GPS also probably helped the fishermen who harvested those fish bearing their haul back to port. Hey, what did the fishermen do?
This guy really is on fish taco.
Yeah,
right?
hey, but this maybe he likes fish, man. He's the opposite of me.
Apparently.
He's into eating fish. What did the fishermen do before we had fish GPS on the boats? You know what I'm saying?
Probably navigated by the stars, I'd reckon. If it was
but how'd they know
nighttime,
if the fish were down there, foil?
Compasses? What do you mean? They fish finders. You ain't never
What
seen
is
a fish
finder?
I don't even fish, and I know this. My brother's got a fish finder on his boat.
I don't
Scan
fish.
for the
I don't
fish.
know.
Then they catch them.
But that's using GPS, right? Or no?
No, it just would scan in the water and tell you if there's some fish down there. right? I don't know, fishing people. I
All
know.
right, so we don't
there's
need
fishing
GPS
folk.
to. Can you keep an eye on
Yeah,
the
Mike
foxhole
Concho,
chat?
thanks for the shades. At least it wasn't a wing joint. This is true.
That's
This
right.
is true.
That's right. At least it was a taco joint.
Right.
Yeah, so everything's fine. Okay, so but it's fish tacos, which I can't get on board with that. We know this.
No, I don't co-sign that.
I'm
either,
just saying. I
at
wonder
all.
what they did. You know, I used to watch. What was that fishing show where the was amped up and it was all exciting and Alaska something? And I used to be into that show, dude. You don't ever watch the fishing show? Did you ever watch The Family That Lives in Alaska either? I used to love that show. When I watched the TV, you know what I'm talking about? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? The Alaska family, and they're like
The
they do
closest
everything
thing to
all old
Alaska is that I've ever watched is like probably Ice Road Truckers, if that even counts. What family in Alaska?
Oh,
that
Mike
does
Concho
anything
says
else?
no, it's sonar. The new ones have GPS
Yeah.
built in. All right, well, thank you,
Hey,
Matt,
Matt 1776.
for the cookery. All right, so back to focus here, okay?
What? No.
GPS
There will be
is-
no focusing.
GPS has probably helped the fishermen who harvested those fish bring their haul back to port. And forget my ignorance about commercial fishing. I'm sorry. I don't have the latest intel on commercial fishing. I don't
We
know.
are not the authority on fish
No,
finding.
Absolutely not. Yeah. I'll be out there with I wouldn't even know what to put in the
we're
water to get
about
the
as
fish.
schooled on the fish finding as we are on the Schumann resonance. So
Right.
yeah,
And we all learned what a travesty that was on the anniversary episode, didn't we? Thank goodness
Right.
for Alexis. We love Alexis.
I know.
All right, so who harvested the fish also might have helped the farmer who grew the corn. I mean, people don't realize how much GPS is involved in this stuff. Who grew
Everything.
the corn, tortillas were made out of, figure where to plant her crops. I didn't know they used GPS to figure out where to plant the crops. What did they do before there was GPS? It just was more difficult, right? Like, I don't use GPS. I print out directions, but still, if I didn't have a
Oh my,
computer-
do you really?
Yeah, dude. I
Still?
don't have GPS. Yeah, I have to write the address down. Then I have to go look it up. Then I have to print it out. And then I have to take the directions with me wherever I go and hope I didn't screw up. Because if I did, I don't have a way to
My
call
dad
anybody to let 'em
always
know.
wants me to print him out. You call me like she did, guys.
Yeah.
Coming back from a trip, called me like, can you look? Hurry! Look
Did I
on
miss
Google
the
and
exit?
tell me where the exit is at. Right? I'm like, bro, I don't know where you at.
It's true. I did. I
right.
actually did that. Better lately coming with the
did.
cookie. Back to focus here. No, there will be no focus.
No
Ha, ha, ha.
focus.
Yeah. All right. Where was I? Okay. While it's hard to-
Deadliest catch.
I'm trying to stay
Was
on
that
time
your show?
today. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Dangerous or Deadliest Catch? Yeah, I watched that. And what was the one about the Alaska family, guys? You know what I mean? They did everything old school. They made their bullets and all that. They went hunting and stuff. They thanked the deer. I was into that show, dude. And I wasn't even
Thank
awake
the
then.
deer.
I was so into that show. I loved it. I just like nature. You guys know me. I love
Nature's
nature.
great.
Yeah. I got a little bit of nature today. I got my bumblebee. Saved a bumblebee.
Yeah,
I'm
saved
really
a
proud of
bumblebee.
that. Yeah, I did. I saved him.
Doing big things, man.
Hey,
Doing big
The
things.
inspector's trying to talk me into getting a cat. Like a legit getting a
You
cat. Not feeding
you will
strays, but
have
getting
cats.
one. I don't
You will have cats.
I'm not
just
talked
saying.
into it yet. I'm not talked into it. Yes. Jonah Sark says, "Dear Lord, Alara's on MapQuest." Something like that. I don't know what it's called. But I use something on the computer and I print the directions. That's right. It's exactly what I do. While it's hard to estimate the exact cost of a GPS disruption in terms of dollars and cents, it has been widely reported that a glitch of just a few millionths or 100,000ths of a second can throw off bank payments, stock markets, telecommunications networks, electrical power grids, and countless other essential aspects of our daily lives. Placing an economic value on GPS has become nearly as impossible as pegging the value of other utilities. As silly as it sounds, there's a lot of vested interest in making sure those humble GPS satellites keep humming. New commercial called Space is Hard. They went from check out the stars to Space is Hard,
Space is hard.
which
man.
the service unveiled during the 36th Space Symposium in Colorado Springs, Colorado. The first part of the commercial featured Chief of Space Operations General John Raymond saying why outer space is a lot more challenging these days than it used to be by saying space is hard. Isn't that interesting?
Ooh.
It used to be all we had to worry about was astrophysics, Kepler's law, gamma rays, solar flares, rocket science, black holes, and the theory of relativity, Raymond said.
Oh, back in the before times.
Right? Amidst a montage of cool space pictures. That list of issues sounds complicated enough, but now we also have to track about 30,000 objects orbiting at over 17,500 miles per hour. And our entire way of life depends on us to protect our satellites from attack day and night, the general added. So yes, space is hard.
Space is hard.
Space is hard, guys. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Thank you, Sean Joe, for the cookie. Appreciate it. And First Branch says, GPS in farming maximizes number of rows in a field, therefore higher yield per acre. Coming with the farming knowledge, First Branch.
Look at that, right?
Right? Because we know nothing about it. Foyle probably doesn't even have 4 tomato plants in her yard. And she has a yard. I don't. She has somewhere to
plant
them. But I will
make videos on farming, though. I don't know nothing about farming, but I will.
Your farming video was great. For those that haven't seen it, she picked an awkward time to put it out, but it was a good video.
Right, molecular farming.
Molecular farming. It's the first time you've done a educational video in a while. I love your educational videos. I know. They're amazing.
It has been a while.
All right, it's trippy to explain what the Space Force does in a 30-second long TV spot to try to convince a high school or college student that they should join. Especially since they're distancing themselves from the UFO topic, too. People are like, well, I want to join the Space Force for
right?
work on
satellites. I mean, right.
Right.
What else
would there be? The Space Force has to explain why an unseen satellite floating 1,000 miles over your head is essential to your way of life. Making things more difficult, the Space Force likely won't be sending Guardians into space in the immediate future, so it can make the sauntering space cowboy pitch quite yet. In past commercials, the Space Force tapped into the sense of wonder many of us feel when we look up at the night sky, or the promise of creating a science fiction future as it unfolds. The Space is Hard ad and the interviews following it seem to bring those big sky ideas back to Earth in the form of actual people like Raymond, Pinto, and Jones. Raymond, Pinto, and Jones must be in the commercial.
Yeah, they're losing it on the Space is Hard topic, right?
Right?
Yes, Adam Huggabug. Space is hard.
Jokes
Guardians. Good? Here we go. Space is hard. Guardians are harder. There's one.
Ooh.
There's one for you.
That was
right?
good. Whose was that?
Mine.
You came up with that, Foyle? That
Just now.
Lit. That was lit.
Right.
Yeah, I was
Look
good.
at that.
You get a point for that.
Right.
All right, so let's see. What do we got coming up next? We got one more issue at hand here with Space Force. All right. Here we go. Cool patches, right? Look at that. Why is my mouse
Ooh.
Why are you not moving, mouse?
It looked like it was moving.
Oh, come on now.
Here, I can see it moving.
Page unresponsive. See? Oh, there we go. Hope I didn't lose my... We don't want to lose the highlighting, guys. That would be the end of the world there.
Oh, no.
We don't want to lose that. Okay, U.S. Space Force on track to launch next-generation missile monitoring satellites within 4 years. The U.S. Space Force has said it's on track to start setting up its next-generation missile launching systems within 4 years. Critical design review should be completed by the end of the year. The network, known as the Next Generation Overhead Persistent Infrared Program, will initially consist of 5 satellites, 3 in geostationary orbits and 2 in elliptical orbits to watch the poles, circling the Earth to watch for missile launches. With the successful review, we remain on schedule to launch the first GEO satellite in 2025. Where did the rest of it go? I don't think the rest of it's important. No, that was the only important part, or I would have highlighted it. Right, Foyle? You can feel free to laugh.
Clearly, if it's not colored, it has no relevance.
Bye, Becky
on
Lou.
The topic at hand.
Have fun tucking in your fowl babies. Fowl babies.
Aw.
And there's a rooster.
Good night.
Why are we getting a rooster?
I love roosters. Everybody's got a cock in this fight, man.
That's right. Well, oh, you're entertaining. All right, here we go. We are moving on now to the King of Mars. All right, I gotta.
Hey, EO2 Dave, thanks for the can. He says, I think one day there will be a space hotel for couples to go have weightless sex. Good movie.
Oh, well, we needed that comment. Definitely.
Well, listen, I think they plan to have it fully operational by, what was it, 2027?
You're talking about like a SpaceX hotel? Or
just a space hotel. I mean, couples who go to hotels tend to have sex.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. What is a hotel? So naturally, right?
I'm saying, especially you take a chick to space. I mean, you're expecting probably something, I would reckon.
Get something. You better get some.
Like this trip ain't for free, man. I'm just saying.
Oh, boy. That's why you're my wingman. All right. Amazon urges FCC to deny SpaceX's plan for a second-generation Starlink.
Wait. Go back. What?
I need to read that again?
Yeah, oh, SpaceX. I really thought you said SpaceX's
SpaceX?
plan. That's all I heard. Right?
No, I said SpaceX foil. I said
Okay,
SpaceX.
I'm done.
Not space hotel sex. God. Where do I find these people? Suiterbug, SFN, love this show and miss it dearly. You ladies are the best. Thank you, Suiterbug, for your support. Appreciate it so much.
We love you.
Man, I'm not looking at the chat right now. I'm not even.
Yes,
I'm
Leyland,
gonna
I went there.
get through this before I even look at what they're talking about in there, because you know it's gonna be lit. In fact, I got your face blocked, so we don't have to see you laughing. Okay.
Oh, that's messed up, dude.
Amazon is asking the FCC to deny a SpaceX effort involving its second-generation Starlink network, claiming the proposal breaks the regulator's rules on satellite deployment. Amazon's protest letter comes as the company is developing its own satellite internet system called Project Kuiper, which has yet to take off. Starlink, on the other hand, is already serving 100,000 users across the globe through 1,700 satellites in orbit. The network is currently delivering download speeds of 50 megabytes to 150 megabytes or higher, but to improve coverage and upgrade speeds, SpaceX is seeking FCC clearance to operate a second-generation Starlink network comprising nearly 30,000 satellites. Earlier this month, SpaceX amended its plan for the second-generation network by requesting clearance for not just one, but two configurations to align the 30,000 Starlink satellites. However, Amazon claims the proposal is too broad and speculative and thus breaks the FCC's rules on applying for satellite deployments. SpaceX only intends on using one configuration during the actual deployment. The company's FCC application also notes the second proposed configuration is meant to serve as a backup. Nevertheless, Amazon isn't on board with the justifications. The company is not against SpaceX's overall plan for the second-generation Starlink network, Amazon told PC Mag. Instead, it's asking the FCC to dismiss SpaceX amendment concerning the two satellite configurations and then resubmit the application after settling on one configuration. SpaceX's novel approach of applying for two mutually exclusive configurations is at odds with both the Commission's rules and public policy, and we urge the Commission to dismiss the amendment. The Commission's rules require that SpaceX settle the details of its proposed amendment before filing its application and not after. As a result, Amazon is calling on the FCC to dismiss the two configuration proposal in its current form. According to Amazon, relaxing the rules risks encouraging SpaceX and other companies to seek clearance for speculative applications that try to lock in access for various satellite configurations. So there you go. There you have it. There's that drama. All right, I know we got more when it...
All I heard was SpaceX like 27 times. The chats are lit.
Oh, I'll bet. That's why I'm not even looking at them right now. I know better. I know our chats. They're unbelievable, very funny people. And so I already know not to look.
Oh, we do got a great community here. Yeah, I love you guys. I just want you guys to know that. All of you watching at home or wherever you're at, we love you. If you think that we bring you joy, imagine how much joy you guys bring us. Like, seriously, that's what makes this show, Foil, is the chat. The fact that they're all funny. Without a doubt. They laugh with us. They troll us. They help us. They, support us. We just have a great crowd. Space Force News has an absolutely amazing crowd. Yeah, and we love you guys. For sure. Yeah, and you can talk about space, hotel sex, all you want in the chat. I'm just going to look over here and refocus on avocados. There will be no focus, right? Yeah, avocados in space. So, I don't know. I saw this article at the last minute, and I threw this in here because why not? I don't know, because avocados, I guess. I'm a big fan of avocados. Are you? Yeah, you love it? You'd be surprised, though. My vegan tacos are off the chain. I'll bet you if I fed somebody, meat eaters would know it wasn't meat. But still, they're really good. I was like, it's very hard as a meat eater to even get down with the idea of, like, meat, any kind of meatless taco. Like, it just seems like there's only really one fake meat. I don't eat fake meat, right? But there's one fake meat that I'll buy. I can't even remember how it's made, but I don't eat soy or any of that stuff, right? I eat just, primarily just vegetables. That's it, and fruit. But
But there's this one fake meat that I get. I don't even know what it's made of. I don't even know that I want to look because I already know it's going to be something terrible.
Oh, bruh.
Yeah, and it's like Mexican taco meat, and normally I would use nuts, you know what I mean, as meat, because you can make nuts taste like shut up, Foil. That was not intentional at all, and you know it. That's why you're laughing. Anyway, the fake taco meat that I buy, it's really good. With avocados.
Tell us what you can make nuts taste like, please.
Those are always the best moments on this show, and it's totally not intentional at all. It just happens, and we're in the moment, you know what I mean? I just say some really retarded off-the-wall shit, and you can't stop laughing, and neither can they. Why do I only say retarded off-the-wall shit on this show, though?
No.
I don't do it on other shows.
It's great. It's great.
It's just
I don't
like
know.
an energy on the shows. Wait, Lancy Lucky said fake nuts? No, they're not fake nuts. They're 100% real nuts. I promise you guys. I don't eat fake nuts.
Alara only eats the real nuts, guys. Squirrel. Woo. Okay.
Woo! Stop! Now! There we go. A SpaceX shipment of ants. Avocados. I'm just gonna skip this one, okay? Because if I try to read this now, it's gonna turn into tacos, and it's gonna go all downhill. I'm not even gonna try.
Okay. I'm done. I promise. I promise.
Thank you, Bruce, for the cookie. Says, hey guys, doing a foxhole drive-by, tossing you a cookie.
Oh,
And-
thanks, Bruce. Thanks,
Yeah.
Mike Honcho, for the can. Wait. What? Here's a can to the Space Force News Only fans. Right? Thanks, Puddin' Hollow, for the cookie. Nutty cookie for you ladies.
They know I won't look at the chat, so now they're throwing up the cans. 'cause
Sean
they know
and
you'll
on,
read 'em.
right? Sean and on cookie. Thank you, like these nuts, right? Sheraton, thank you for the can.
That's it. I'm moving to the next article, okay?
No, please, by all
No,
means.
I'm not doing the avocados in there.
Tell us about the nuts, man.
So
We
there's
need to know.
SpaceX shipment of ants, avocados, and a human-sized robotic arm rocketed toward the International Space Station on Sunday. The delivery, due to arrive Monday, is the company's 23rd for NASA in just under a decade. The Dragon is carrying more than 4,800 pounds of supplies and experiments, fresh fluid, including avocados, lemons. See, I could totally survive up there. And even ice cream for the space station's 7 astronauts. This is important, guys. I felt like you needed to know this, all right? The Girl Scouts are sending up ants.
Why?
Real talk here, dude. The Girl Scouts are sending up ants, brine shrimp, and plants as test subjects, while University of Wisconsin-Madison scientists are flying up seeds from mouse ear cress. C-R-E-S-S?
Hold on, brine shrimp. Aren't those
I don't know.
Aren't
I
those
don't eat
those
shrimp.
what?
I'm more
The
liable
monkeys,
to play with
sea
them than eat them.
monkeys, brine shrimp or sea monkeys? Why are they sending
No.
sea monkeys up there? I
Are
wonder.
brine shrimp flea monkeys? Oh, Gary.
Yes, they're flea monkeys.
Gary, bless her. All right, scientists are flying up seeds from mouse ear cress, a small flowering weed used in genetic research. Samples of concrete, solar cells, and other materials also will be subjected to weightlessness. They're trying to do all kinds of stuff in weightlessness now, aren't they? Testing stuff, they're doing stuff. Like, they're really going big with the whole thing. PJ
Yep.
Zwirnick with the cookie. Thank you for making me laugh. Had a heavy heart all day. We're really glad.
Aw,
we
love
laugh.
you.
That's
Yes.
awesome. Nano with the cookie. Promise the cookie comes without the need of nuts. Thank you, Nano. Thank you. A Japanese startup company's experimental robotic arm, meanwhile, will attempt to screw items together in its orbital debut and perform other mundane chores normally done by astronauts. The first test will be done inside the space station. Future models of something Gaiata Incorporated's robot will venture out into the vacuum of space to practice satellite and other repair jobs. And yeah, so that's, yeah, we're moving on now from that. I just thought it was interesting, like, ants
They're
and
sending
robots.
a bunch of ants, like
A bunch of wild stuff.
poor things.
All right, so we
Right.
got one more left in SpaceX, guys. Tesla applies to sell electricity in Texas. This guy's just trying to take over everything. He's got the tunnels, he's got the
Man,
rockets. He's got more than that, dude. Toilet
he's
scrubbing
the
robots.
gang, right? Definitely toilet scrubbing robots. Definitely that.
Tesla seeking permission to sell electricity directly to customers in Texas. Subsidiary Tesla Energy Ventures last week filed an application with the Public Utility Commission of Texas for a retail electric provider REP certificate. Authorization, if approved in November, could help Tesla stand out in what Texas Monthly called a crowded, deregulated retail market where 120 other companies are already hawking kilowatts. Tesla could sell energy drawn from the grid or pulled from Tesla homemade batteries, according to Texas Monthly, which suggested the folks with solar panels may even earn some extra cash by sharing excess power with the grid. Yeah, he's been getting into the battery game lately. He did that when the whole shebang, went down with Texas with the freeze and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's got his hands in all the cookie jars,
Yeah, his hands and
man.
everything. Got a little mittens and everything. People's brains.
For sure. Thank you, Texas Q, for the phone. I'm so late, yo. I'm always late. Don't feel bad,
Yeah, you're not the only one.
right? Time
He's
is not
always
relevant
late.
here.
I don't know. You're on time for Space Force News, though.
Only because I don't want to hear you yelling at me about it.
You're on time for Space Force News. All right, so on that note, I think it's time to go into defense
Dun, dun,
and
dun.
try to not make it a big fat black pill as best we can. And if it turns into that, we have Nature Break to help bring us back.
We
know what I
do.
mean? So it's all good. And on that note, here we are, man.
Here we are.
Biden says another terrorist attack on Kabul airport is highly likely, while vowing that U.S. retaliatory strike was not the last.
Yeah, before did you see the video of the strike? Wall Street Journal posted it. It looked like, I don't know, are we bombing like golf carts now? Like, it looks like we hit a golf cart. There was hardly any damage done. I don't know. In any case, so they're saying that another terrorist attack on Kabul's airport is likely in the next 24 to 36 hours, right? Citing our commanders, they issued a security alert for our embassy again, which I thought, I don't know, I thought it was empty, but whatever. But they said due to a specific credible threat, all U.S. citizens in the vicinity of the airport, the South Airport Circle Gate, new Ministry of the Interior, and the gate near Panjshir petrol station on the northwest side, they should leave the airport area immediately. And it's crazy because they don't want to process Americans. They tell Americans to leave, but they're gonna continue to process Afghans? At least something isn't right here.
Yeah, the whole situation's not right. Sean Anon with the cookies sent you a video on Telegram, Alara, showing graphene being found in Pellegrino. Oh, that's great.
The water stuff?
Oh, that's great.
Oh, that's
okay,
wild.
I'll have to go check that out. Thank you. And Laura QAnon with the ship, my girls ride or die. Thank you so much,
thanks,
Laura, for the
love.
ship. Mountain Dreams over on YouTube. Avocado Dreams. Love you, ladies. Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Okay.
Yeah, but this
Yeah,
is crazy.
Debbie,
like, okay.
No need to drop those links anymore because we're all done with that. Really appreciate you, Wonder Mod, but we're not doing that anymore. but I forgot to tell you that. So
yeah, the promo links.
Not your fault,
right?
but I'm letting you know so you're not working at something that, you know. Anyway, okay, I'll shut up. Go ahead, Paul.
All right. No, somebody wanted to, like, okay, now they're trying to put this big story around this ISIS-K, right? Which is a thing apparently, but I mean, this just feels a little fishy to me. I mean, you know, are we going to start hearing about like ISIS-L, M, and OP? Is this going to be like ISIS variants? Like, I don't know what's going on here, guys.
Well, there's two high-profile ISIS targets, right? But do we know who they are? No.
No,
right.
There's been no names released, and they said
but they're high-profile.
They weren't necessarily involved in the attack or the planning, but they were just like tangentially tied because they were planners and facilitators for it. And in fact, they were swearing up and down that no civilians got hurt or killed. That it only killed it killed 2 terrorists and injured another one allegedly. But there were people on the ground, like witnesses on the ground, that said a mother got killed, kids were injured, like. And then they show what's supposed to be where we struck, and it's this tiny little hole in the ground, and what looks like a freaking golf cart or possibly a rickshaw that had been burnt up, and some shrapnel. Like, it's pretty much the extent of it. It just, I don't know. I think this is just straight shenanigans over here. You know, I mean, I feel like this couldn't have went worse.
No.
I mean, it had to been planned. Like, you had to intentionally try to make this shit as contorted as it is.
Right.
Like,
it really wasn't that difficult.
I mean, for God's sakes,
right.
I mean, what do you mean? Like, you take the people out first.
Right.
Then you get your stuff out.
Get your shit out.
Then you get your troops out.
Right.
Then you, like, maybe destroy the shit you were using that's still there. Like,
Right.
It's crazy. I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, and anybody could figure that out. It's not difficult. Definitely not difficult. You know, Sean just said we're watching a battle between the deep state, Pentagon, White House, and the deeper State Department,
oh boy,
CIA.
It's all these, the deepest, all these states.
There's something going on. I'm you know,
right.
There's
shenanigans, man.
There's quite a few things going on, actually. Quite a few things going on that are highly suspect. Yeah, you couldn't have destroyed this whole thing any worse than he's done.
Like
he's
sus
done.
AF. Like, yeah, you had to literally try to make it this bad. Man.
Yeah, and then you've got the Taliban saying, what are they saying? They want something about the date. Remember we were talking about this earlier. Something about the date. They'll move the date if the freeze is taken off their funds, or whatever like that.
Oh, of course they do. Of course they do. You know, I mean, come on. We're giving them lists of our people over there.
Dude, that's crazy.
So they can help us. So they can help us get them out. Like, are you kidding me?
It's nuts, guys.
Dude is falling asleep talking to international leaders. Like, are you kidding me? This is a joke, right? This is a joke.
Right.
This
I
is
know,
some
it really
kind of cosmic
getting that ludicrous, dude.
joke.
It's getting ludicrous. Straight up ludicrous. Okay.
I don't know.
What do the Taliban-Russia relations signify?
Yeah, well, yeah, and then on top of all this, like, remember, we had talked a little bit about how at first Russia was like, we're not dealing with them. Then they kind of walked their statement back. Well, now, turns out, you know, of course, they're down with it. You know, Russia has a long history in Afghanistan, clearly. And they are going to be a force in the geopolitical landscape for a long time to come at this point. They've had meetings with Taliban. They've been meeting with the Taliban. They have a special envoy that is assigned to deal specifically with Afghanistan, with Taliban relations. Like, they have been putting this shit together for a while. It's no secret that we were going to leave, right? Trump said we were going to leave. They knew we were going to leave. They were putting their pieces on the board where they wanted them prior to this shenanigans that I don't even think they could have foreseen how this was going to go. Right. But, you know, Putin acts in the strategic best interests of Russia. That's all he cares about, and himself. But, I mean, you know, Putin puts Russia first. You know, like, we should be putting America first, and China is going to put China first. Like, right. That's the way it's going to go. But, I mean, these guys are going to have an extreme impact on the development of the area now that we are supposedly leaving.
Did you see the list of the names coming back, Foyle? They were all so young.
Oh. My God, they were babies, dude.
Mostly Marines, yeah. I think 1 Navy, 1 Army, and all just baby Marines. Like, it's just sickening.
I know, bro. I know. But in any case, as far as this, so now Russia is definitely going headfirst into forming partnerships straight out with the Taliban. I mean, their envoy said, we've been in contact with the Taliban for a long time. The fact is, we've already prepared the basis for talks with the new authorities. This is an asset of Russian foreign policy that we're using for the long-term benefit of Russia. I mean, that's it. Wow. We've talked about Chinese influence in the area. I mean, they don't want us there anymore. And I told you, I don't know that Biden ever intended for us to really leave. I guess we're going to have to see. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of looking that way, isn't it? All right, let's see. Are we down on Foxhole? Or no,
Wait,
we're still moving. No, we're still moving on Foxhole. I thought for a second maybe we were down on Foxhole. Okay, so Pentagon holds talks with Chinese military for the first time under Biden, official says. Right.
So they have this defense phone link, like a secure comm between the United States and China, and like countries will set up secure links with our different agencies so that we can talk in case of crisis. Well, for the first time, a senior Pentagon official had talks with the Chinese military, for the first time since Biden took office. They're supposed to be focusing on managing risk between the two countries. Obviously, we claim that countering China is at the heart of our security policy at the moment. Biden, the allegation has been made that maybe our forces are being redirected into Asia, and that's why we were supposedly pulling out of Afghanistan. Mm-hmm. I don't know where that's going to go, but clearly there's a ton of tension there. So despite the tension and the rhetoric that we've seen recently, Michael Chase, who is the Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for China, spoke with Chinese Major General Huang Zheping, right? Had a video call for a couple of hours. They didn't really release a lot on what was talked about. I know they talked a little bit about the fishing grounds in the South China Sea and securing fishing lanes and shipping lanes, and that's about the extent that they told us. But I guess at least they reached out. I don't know.
Woohoo!
Right.
All right, let's see. What do we got next for defense?
Yeah, U.S. in desperate need of a foreign policy renewal. I mean, this is just saying all of what's been said before. When Biden took office, he promised, what did he tell them? America's back, right?
Right.
America's back.
Build back better. Oh, my God.
We were going to be reliable international leaders now. And look at our global standing now. I was saying this earlier. What do you think our allies are thinking? Like, we really are going to have to sit down and reformulate what we think our place in the world is supposed to be. I am not necessarily an isolationist, but we don't have the respect of the international community anymore, like we did, to be able to maintain to maintain what is basically an American empire. I'll just call it what it is. I mean, we don't have the standing anymore.
Right.
I mean, and at this point, I mean, look how they laughed at Blinken when he sat down with China.
They're making moves. Like, we don't run things anymore. You know what I mean? They're making moves.
Absolutely. I mean, this has just been chaos.
Crazy. I wonder how he's going to respond to that. We've never negotiated with terrorists. I wonder if he's going to negotiate.
Until today, right?
I mean, I don't know what the response has been yet.
We definitely negotiate with terrorists. They just don't do it publicly.
Right.
But now they're doing it very publicly.
Very publicly.
As a matter of fact, the entire shenanigans in Afghanistan is contingent upon specifically negotiating with terrorists.
Yeah.
I said this on Jay Bell's show earlier. It doesn't matter what the Taliban is what their leadership is telling the world. It's the de facto actions of the people on the ground. Their leaders can say all they want about, we're going to interact with the world. It's going to be, we love Afghanistan, whatever. They can say whatever they want. That doesn't mean the people aren't going to go around chopping heads, man.
Right.
But that's enough depression for today.
All right. So is that the end of defense?
Yes.
It is? Oh, yay.
Yes.
It's our favorite time.
Woohoo!
Nature break.
Here we go.
Wait, which one is this?
This is the homeboy with a squirrel.
Oh,
dude.
yeah, right?
Right.
Aw.
Oh, hello. Welcome to A Day in My Life Squirrel Edition. This is my human, Mark.
Come on, man.
He rescued me about 4 years ago.
How do
after
you
my
get a
mum
squirrel? How do you come up on a
passed away.
squirrel?
What do you
And
mean
we've
you
been
can have them as
inseparable
pets?
ever since. Let's go! Oh, how I love a good oat bath in the morning.
Look, he's the cutest thing.
Then I help my human get ready to work out. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey.
Would you rather have a squirrel or a cat?
And
Paul?
1, and 2.
A squirrel?
Yeah, a squirrel or a cat.
I'd rather have a squirrel.
See, look at it work out with you and everything. Look at that.
Then I let him get ready for work while I go find Chloe. She loves me.
Oh, you could have a squirrel and a cat.
That would be entertaining.
That looks fun,
See
right?
how that'll go.
I have to keep myself entertained while my human's away.
Where do you pick up a squirrel? At the pet store? No, you gotta get them in the woods. There's no woods.
You can't go catch a random rabid squirrel, like just grab a
he's
squirrel.
back.
from
Where do you
woods
get the
and bring it
stats
home.
from then? The pet store?
Pet store,
Oh,
yeah,
come
pet
on.
stores.
They sell squirrels at the pet store.
Man, you can buy all kind of weird pets. Sugar gliders are kind of nifty.
What a silly man. After dinner,
that guy.
But it
it's
would eat
playtime.
all my nuts.
Right?
It would eat my tacos. Look at that. They can jump.
He's like a ninja. Right?
I wouldn't
Well,
think they'd be that friendly.
that was fun. Time to cool down.
Oh no.
Look.
He's gonna give. Oh, he's trimming its nails. Come
Wow,
on.
what's this? Is it a large diaper? I think I'll stick to my nuts. Please, human. Not in front of the camera.
They fall onto the tree
Can a
stacks
squirrel
and you
eat
rescue
in
them.
peace? Then we settle down and watch TV. I love Jersey Shore.
Oh God.
This guy.
Do some laundry.
Jersey Shore.
Yeah, don't
Right.
ruin that squirrel's mind.
Look, it just literally hangs out with them all day. That's great.
That's cool. I probably would too if I had a squirrel. I'd probably let him sit on my shoulder
And then
during the news.
off to bed.
Oh, look at
Can't
his.
wait to do it all
Oh,
over
look
again
at that
tomorrow.
little squirrel all cuddled up on his little
Right.
bed.
Aw, his name is
Oh.
Peanut.
Oh, that's. I can't handle how cute that is.
Wasn't that so cute?
That is too cute. I just can't handle it. All right, we have something else, right? We have a kung fu bear.
Oh yeah, it's the
Let's see
mostly
what this guy's
peaceful
doing.
attack bear.
Yeah. Let's see.
You gotta show the people.
Yeah, I'm gonna show him. I'm on it. Believe me.
Look at this guy. That's our bear. He's outside of the woodshed.
There's the woodshed right behind him.
That's what I'm saying. It's a mostly peaceful attack bear.
I mean, if the shoe fits, right?
Hey,
He looks like a mostly peaceful attack bear to me.
all right.
Is it an attack bear or assault bear?
Oh, assault bear. Sorry, mostly peaceful assault bear. Mhm.
He's cool.
Yeah, look at him. It's like Kung Fu Panda.
That's pretty
something.
cool, dude. I've never.
Right.
I would have never thought a bear could just sit down and chill out like that and do that. That's. I don't know. All the animals are upgrading. Apparently, we're not the only ones that are getting
Right.
moved up a level, bumping up a level. Apparently. Look at this
If he
guy.
quit smoking weed, he'd be much better at it.
You sent me 2 nature breaks. One is a squirrel and one is the mostly peaceful assault bear. How did you do that, man?
What do you mean?
Use
On
the
purpose?
force?
What are you talking about? Yeah.
Did you see the squirrels I posted on my Telegram? My Sunday morning squirrels? They dance?
No, I did not.
Oh,
but remember,
you
we
gotta
were
go-
talking about the sparkly squirrels the other day
Oh,
at the
they're
lounge.
great. They're great. Your day cannot go wrong after you watch these squirrels. Like they dance and everything, and they sing you a song on Sunday morning. It's better than Nancy in the Sun. I'm over Nancy in the Sun. I'm so over that.
Good morning, Sunday morning.
Yeah, I've been posting that forever. Right? I'm over it. I need something new, and I found those squirrels. I was like, yes, I found something new.
Everybody loves squirrels, right?
Yeah, squirrels are great. Squirrels are great. All right, here we go, man. We're going into science now, my friends.
Ooh.
Science! Toilet privacy.
Bruh.
Because
when I say the government is all up in your shit, I mean it literally. Right? So there was like a short story that was published, I don't know, a few days ago that was talking about like a girl that's in college and they have this, we've talked about the circular economy where everything feeds back into everything else, where they're trying to create an economy of no waste, right? And I think we talked about it on here before, about like when Bill Gates had made it where you could drink processed poop water. Didn't we ever show that video on here? I swear we showed that video on here. Where he was working to where they clean out the water from the toilets and you could drink it. Yeah, this is totally a thing. Listen, this guy. Bill Gates is in everything, man, right? Everything.
Why can't we stick him on a rocket like Space Mouse and shoot him up there? Leave him there.
Moon prison, man. Moon prison. Right? So what they've been doing recently, in any case, is they are now monitoring wastewater. Right, and at first they were doing this on a fairly spread out scale.
Who's doing this?
Institutions on behalf of the government are now monitoring your poop and pee for the COVID, number one, to see if they can track. Like they're getting molecular analysis from wastewater to track variants, congregations in neighborhoods. If there's a hot spot, that way now imagine where they could go with this, right? First, they were doing it at like city level. They've got it out to where they can monitor at the neighborhood level, but very soon they may be able to monitor per building or per unit, or even depending on what you have in your system, narrow it down to you. And so this person that does this for a living wrote this article asking, like, should we be thinking about like waste product privacy? Like at what point that they can monitor you specifically. They can tell if you're pregnant, tell if you're on drugs, tell what kind of medicines you're taking, and know if you're sick or not. They can monitor you for COVID. Imagine, right, that we're in this crazy time. Like our poor brothers and sisters in Australia, look what they're going through right now. They can monitor wastewater by the neighborhood and implement, restrictions and lockdowns. Oh, I see the screen glitching out. Implement restrictions and lockdowns based on fecal material. Like, no joke. They can analyze for toxic chemicals, human pathogens, biomarkers of harmful exposure. They've been fighting both the opioid epidemic and COVID, and they've created in the process, they say, the world's first open access electronic dashboard displaying opioid and coronavirus abundance at the neighborhood level to help inform public health actions. The more data they have on us, the more restrictive their methods can be.
No. What this is, Share Within said, thank God I have a second septic tank. I think this would be the time, friends, to consider.
Man, right?
Who would have thought you'd ever have to shit in the woods?
Who would have thought we'd ever be able to have this
conversation? By the man, dude.
I know, right? Yeah, no shit.
Thank God my dad raised me right. I know how to deal with dire circumstances. I'll be fine,
I mean, and this is somebody that works in the area of wastewater-based epidemiology and just health monitoring in general. And this person is saying, hey, I mean, this is like a warning article, like, hey, they might not be narrowing it down to the individual right now, but with, as these technologies get cheaper, it will become more problematic for us on an individual level, And that's what she's talking about, this little short story that was written called Beauty Search, where this girl is at a college, and in this college they monitor the students' waste products to know what's going on with the students.
It's time to build an outhouse, fam. You know what I mean? It's time to get on the whole outhouse deal again. You know what I mean?
Isn't it crazy though? I mean, they're literally all up in your shit, right? I mean, they're saying most recently a company called Aquavitas, right, performed the first phase of the largest wastewater-based epidemiological study to track COVID-19 for the U.S. government, right? They're doing this for the government, reaching some 40 million people in more than 100 U.S. cities. Next up, genetic sequencing of coronavirus genetic information to learn from where and how variants have spread across the United States.
Leyland says this is not about actual science. There's no proof of it working. It's just another gaslighting control tactic.
What, this?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what comes out of you? I mean, they can literally, yes, they can. I believe they can. I believe they can, Leyland. I don't think this is gaslighting at all. Not at all. They look for
says, septic tank, don't think we need to go all the way to an outhouse yet. But if it came down to it, I'm telling you, man, we're going to have to go way old school in order to defeat these sick individuals. You know what I mean?
Like, it's crazy.
Come down to that. Like,
way
old school.
Do you know, this isn't even, like, apparently, and they were talking about this, apparently back in the day, they used wastewater monitoring to find hotspots of polio. Like, this isn't even a brand new tech. They've just gotten better at it. That's why I said I don't think it's gaslighting. Like, this is totally a thing.
Oh boy. All right, astronauts successfully demonstrate DNA repair in space using CRISPR.
Yeah, this is kind of interesting. You know, your DNA repairs itself anyway, in general. So what they did was they just wanted to see if that would hold true in space as well. And this was actually an experiment that was designed by high school kids, right? So this was part of what they call, it was a program called the Genes in Space 6 experiments. And the astronauts at the ISS created breaks in the DNA of just common yeast and then analyzed if it would repair itself similar to the way that it does on Earth, if there were any variances, you know, and then they were able to use CRISPR to affect this. So now they know that the technology does, number one, work in space. Number two, that your DNA will repair, which is applicable if we're talking about people living in space and like excessive exposure to radiation. This may give them, you know, new treatment methods or ways to know how much radiation shielding is needed, or just, you know, answers a whole host of questions for them.
Yeah, Miracle Girlie says, can we just descend to 5D already? Yeah, that's what I've been thinking too. Like I don't, you know, this dimension is getting intense. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's wild.
Yeah, but I know I'm supposed to ride this out until whatever conclusion it concludes at. I can't really just bounce. It's not what I'm supposed to do. But believe me, I have that thought all the time where I'm just like, you know, I tell you this all the time. Like, man, I'm just gonna, you know, and I know they won't come pick me up, but I get desperate once in a while and I ask them. I'm not gonna lie.
Get me off of this rock.
Come on, please. Just, do I have to do this? Can you just, you know what I mean? Just
like, am I done yet? Is it time?
And this is exactly why they don't pick you up, because if you got away, even for a day, whatever, time's relative, but if you got away, you would be so bummed out when you came back, you wouldn't be able to get anything done. That's why they stay away. They've told me that. So, whatever. Anyways, I really like hanging out with them, but whatever. Can't right now, I guess. It is what it is.
They're going to come pick you up, Alara. Don't you worry.
I hope so. Or I don't know
how
it all works.
They're going to come and get you.
In the end, I don't know how it all works. If they pick us up, if they beam us all up, or, you know, because we've discussed this before, guys. The angelic realm, they have spaceships. Everybody has spaceships but us. Even we have spaceships now. So the point is, I don't know if we get beamed on a ship or we suddenly, you know, get to leave our physical body and manifest a new one that's lighter and, you know, in density. I don't know how this works. I don't know. But however it works, I'm ready. You know what I mean? Let's do it. I want to go. Let's go.
Right.
But we got to change this. We all took this job on, dude, to change this system. And it's going to take work. It's going to take a lot of work for a long time. We got to help 3D Earth. Or maybe we're creating 5D Earth and we don't really realize it. Maybe 3D Earth is... I think maybe that's what's going on. I think 3D Earth is all these people...
Well, that's why
all these
it's
people
so
that are
important.
asleep with the masks on, and I think they stay in 3D Earth, and we're building 5D Earth, but we just can't see the separation fully yet. But
maybe, but this is why it's so important to focus on making your heart right. You know, individually, that's what you can do. Like people that are sitting around like, I don't know what I can do to stop all this. Focus on you.
Yeah, it's you.
Yeah.
That's
you can definitely affect you.
When
affects
me changes,
everybody
and
around
you personally change, and that's when everything changes. It's you. You gotta work. You gotta, and it's easier.
Yeah.
It's much harder. It's to know that and be able to act in the right way every day. It's a mind fuck. I'm sorry. It is. It's a total
Miracle Girl.
This whole experience
Miracle Girl says, "Do we send foil mail at Belushi One now?" Yeah, I'm sure he will forward any mail to me.
This
right?
Belushi and foil getting married joke has gone way too far. But hey, who am I to say anything? I take jokes way too far all the time. Ask anybody who knows me and everybody who watches this show. Okay, so what are we doing here?
Yeah, the God of Death Whale.
The God of Death Whale? He's part of
look
science.
at that guy.
Okay. He's cool.
Look at that guy. Yeah, well, apparently, at some point, whales literally walked on the earth, right? They were land animals.
Yeah.
Or half land, half water animals. In any case, on this past Wednesday, researchers presented a recent discovery that tells us about a 43 million year old fossil of a previously unknown whale ancestor that had 4 legs. It was found in Egypt, and they call it Phiomecidus anubis.
Look, he's got a grill.
He was an apex predator.
He's
apparently.
got a grill, and he's got hands and feet, stuff, and a tail.
Yeah.
He's winning.
Crazy looking, right?
As far as an aqua being, he's winning. He's got everything you need to be an apex predator.
Yeah, he was. But apparently he ran shop where he was at. Like I said, they found his remains in Egypt. They think he was like 10 feet long and maybe weighed about 1,300 pounds. But his head is kind of like a jackal. That's why they say Phiomecidus anubis, right? Because it looks kind of like he's got a jackal head.
I was gonna say, why did they call him Anubis? Because I was like, but he doesn't. I mean, I guess if you look.
Well, they said he was the god of death to most animals that lived in his area, so they called him, Phiomecidus anubis, which is kind of crazy. Also, apparently, it was the first time that an Arab research team was allowed to name their own find. So they went with something important to them.
I like the God of Death. Well, I'm cool with him.
Yeah, he's cool.
I would have liked to met him.
I for one did not know that whales were previously land animals.
I didn't know that.
We tend to think that things come out of the water and then progress to the land. Yeah. Apparently, this thing progressed from the land back into the water.
I don't know if I believe that very much. I don't know. I think we really have our whole deal with evolution kind of a little bit wrong on this planet. I think. Not to say that things don't evolve. Of course they do. Beings evolve and they change over the course of
there was
time.
There was probably some intervention here and there with things. Yes,
there's been some heavy intervention and altering.
Well, with
DNA.
us specifically.
With us specifically, but with probably a lot of the creatures on this planet. So, and some of the creatures probably don't even come from here. You know what I mean? They're probably aliens, like the eels and the octopus.
There is the eels for sure. Yeah, those things are definitely aliens, but there's such a diversity of life on this planet. Like,
it doesn't make any sense. There's too much of a diversity.
This is a galactic zoo, bro.
This is a zoo, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you, dude.
Yeah,
this is a zoo.
We're in a zoo.
Yeah,
for sure.
This is a zoo. This is some kind of zoo. Okay, because there's way too many life forms. It's too varied. They're too weird. Have you seen some of them? They look like.
Look at the platypus.
They don't look real.
What happened with the platypus, man? That's a weird one.
I don't know.
I
found out something the other day laid an egg. I didn't realize it laid an egg. I thought, what? I thought this was against the rules, but it lays eggs. You know what trips
bird
me
milk.
out too? It trips me out that penguins, their whole look. I watched March of the Penguins the other day. Their whole deal that they go through is stressful. It's stressful.
Penguins are stressed.
Well, they got to move that little egg from one pouch to the other without it cracking or freezing in the middle of Antarctica.
Yeah, it does seem kind of stressful.
They got to
as a
do this
parent.
like multiple times, dude, while the other spouse goes to get the fish. You know what I mean? Like this is like a stressful thing, right? And you'd think that these two would build a lifelong relationship after that kind of stress. But no. Even they bounce out on each other and get new people and have a new egg. Do the whole thing over again. Anyway, I think it's fascinating.
Oh man, I just always assumed from Happy Feet that penguins were like monogamous, but
I thought they
not.
were too, but they're not.
What a shame.
I thought
right?
they were too. I was bummed out to figure out that they weren't. That they go through all that to protect the egg and protect each other and switch off teams and you go and I'll go and all that just to, all right, I'm out. Peace, I'm out. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm gonna go find me a new penguin. Like what?
Right.
You know what I mean? You'd think that would build like some kind of, but no. Apparently not. Apparently not.
Sean Anon says, I heard somewhere that there's more genetic evidence tying humans to Mars than Earth. True. IMO. In my opinion. True. Probably. Yeah. There's actually a lot of evidence for the idea that if nothing else, maybe some sort of spores came from Mars to Earth. But it's entirely possible that there were just, we are the ancestors of beings that came from Mars.
I think it's funny too that people haven't picked up on the fact that like Bigfoots are way closer to what we should look like right now than we do.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've clearly been altered, changed. They're way closer to what we should actually look like if we evolved naturally. You know what I mean? And we weren't messed with. I don't know why I don't ever hear people say that. I never hear people bring that up. Like we have these creatures on our planet who are more advanced than us in some ways, in a multitude of ways, but that look the way that we should look if we weren't. Anyway, so much.
We're weird hairless apes. You know,
we are. That's exactly what we are.
Hairless
we're
apes.
Weird hairless apes.
I told you we're like
Does
drunk
the platypus
monkeys
have
all
eggs?
the time.
Frightening
Man.
me wants to know if the platypus has eggs. Does it have
I believe
eggs?
so.
Okay.
Should I Google it? Right. I do. I think they're weird. Hold on.
Is Grand Canyon still in science or are we on tech?
Yes. A platypus usually lays
Science.
2 eggs at a time. Apparently, yes, they do lay eggs.
What is the platypus? What is it?
Have you never seen a duck-billed platypus? It is the weirdest looking creature on Earth. Look it up right now. It's okay. The people will understand. It is the weirdest looking creature on Earth. Honest to God, you're talking about weird things that look like they were some sort of genetic, confabulation. The duck-billed platypus is at the top of the list for just weird, like they just took pieces of different animals and stuck them all together. Not to mention, it has fur, but like it lays eggs, but it has like a bill like a duck. Like it's the weirdest shit, dude.
The ETs are messing with us, dude.
They
totally have stuff on this planet that should be like, this should be obvious to you guys, and we're still like, no, we evolved.
It's like a cosmic joke, dude. It's got little fins and but it's a land animal. I don't know what's going on with him. It's the weirdest thing. Do you see him?
All right, yeah, I got him. Here he is. Here you go, guys. Here's the duck-billed platypus.
Yeah, look at that. It's like a joke.
Where do you even see one?
I don't know.
See one of these at?
And apparently, even though they lay eggs, they also have milk. Like it's just
look at the babies! Look at how cute the babies are.
Yeah, look until they get big. Now they just look weird, right?
Look at how cute the babies are. Look at that. It looks like a duck rhino or something. I don't know.
Isn't it weird? It's the weirdest thing.
Is so weird. They are super weird. I've never seen one. They have them at zoos or what? I'll bet you they do.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can definitely see them at zoos. But you would be opposed to zoos.
What is that? It's a duck beak. They designed this creature.
Nana says a platypus is made of God's leftovers. Right?
They designed this
swirled
creature.
the genetic material in a pot and put it out there.
Microgravity says the platypus seems normal to her.
What planet are you from?
Apparently a planet that has platypuses all over the place. You know what I mean?
Platypi.
And octopuses, platypi.
Right?
Yeah, apparently that's where she's from. Because they don't have those on my planet.
creatures on this planet for sure. And that is at the top of my list for weird.
Look at the pink dolphin that lives in the Amazon.
Aren't they awesome?
You know what's cool too is beluga whales.
Oh yeah, we
I
watched
love
the dude
beluga
play
whales.
play a song for one a couple of weeks
All right,
ago.
mystery. Okay, sorry, my bad.
Joan of Sark said it looks like a beaver boinked a duck.
Yeah, she's right. It does. It looked like a beaver and a duck got down.
Right.
I wonder if that's
crazy.
possible. Is that possible?
No.
Well, apparently
Definitely
it happened
not.
because we have a part beaver, part duck looking creature.
I mean, they can't boink each other, but I'm sure you could take genetic. Is
that going to be our scientific word now on this show? Boink.
Boink.
Yeah.
They were boinking, right?
Mystery of Grand Canyon's missing rocks may finally be solved.
Yeah, did you know that there's like 1 billion years worth of rock history missing from the Grand Canyon? I did not know that.
Where is it at?
Yeah, well, if you look, matter of fact, scroll down to like, I think it's the third picture down.
Okay.
Okay, right there. No, go back up.
Yeah.
That picture right there.
Okay.
You can see, like, when people are trying to date stuff, they tend to look at strata, right? That you can tell what happened by what strata that it's in and whatever. You can see where, I mean, there's clearly a very evident change in the rock formation there. They call it the Great Unconformity, and they have not been able to explain it for the longest. Well, they used a method called thermochronology to track the history of rock heating in the Grand Canyon, to look at the geological history of the Grand Canyon itself. And they figured out that before the supercontinent that we call Pangaea, there was another supercontinent called Rodinia, right?
What?
Listen, yeah, for real. This is why there have to have been so many times that there was advanced civilization that we just have lost all the evidence for because of changes on the Earth. But yes, before Pangaea, there was a supercontinent called Rodinia, right? It started to break apart, I don't know, more than 700 million years ago. So what they found was that the upheaval may have torn at the eastern and western halves of the Grand Canyon in different ways and at slightly different times, which created what they call the Great Unconformity in the process. But in short, like, they're thinking that at some way in the heaving, that literally 1 billion years worth of history in the rocks, we lost during the breaking apart of Rodinia, even before Pangaea.
Well, where did it go when we lost it?
Well, I mean, it probably got cycled back down into the magma pools. Rock, like, as it gets pushed down, like with plate tectonics, assuming you believe that, flat Earth friends, as the rock gets pushed down, like, say you have a fault like this, the rock goes down, it melts back, it gets superheated and melts back into magma, and then we lose, whatever information it was holding. Then it comes back up and forms new land masses, and the cycle continues as the plates move and squish and crush and pool.
Bummer. Well, it'd be nice to see our rocks. You know what I mean?
Can you imagine, like, there could have been entirely advanced societies on some of these, things that we just completely lost. They're under the water, or they went down into the magma pools. Like, we lost all the evidence. Like, who knows? It's crazy.
Wild. All right, let's see. What are we on to now? We are on
tech.
Are we on to tech? All right, so let's go with tech.
Leyland says, look up the proboscis monkey, I dare you. Is it a monkey with a proboscis? I don't even know if I want to see this.
I'm not looking.
Like I'm about to look it up. First. Go ahead.
Technology. I have a feeling this proboscis monkey is going to be offensive. Thank you, Leyland.
Yeah, thank you, Lane. Yeah, I've seen this guy before. He's just got a
a proboscis.
He's got a big dong on his face, basically. It's like literally looks like a dickhead.
A big boinking device. I don't want to see this right now.
Yeah, you do. Go ahead, look him up.
I don't want. Let's. Universal's reach extends beyond Earth. Claims copyright ownership of the moon. Copyright ownership of the moon. Like, really?
Bruh. Yes, listen. Yeah. So people were, everybody felt like you can get those telescopes you put in your yard. You can hook your phone to it and film the moon, get awesome pics, whatever. People were posting them to YouTube and getting copyright strikes for moon footage that they filmed themselves. Okay.
Yeah. This
turns out Universal Music Group has an AI that runs and it's not yet able to determine, like, I mean, there's only so many shots of the moon you can get, right? A lot of them look the same. So it's not able to really determine whether this was a copyrighted image used by one of their artists or just something that looks a lot like it. So people were literally getting copyright strikes for their own footage of the moon. Like, and Universal was trying to defend it like...
That's gay.
Like like what, y'all own the moon now? Like what kind of shenanigans is this?
Like that sucks. That's
Isn't that
terrible.
horrible?
It's out of hand.
It's out of hand.
Totally out of hand.
I just thought it was an interesting little blurb.
All right, let's see. Where are we going from here? We are going to... we're going to get through this show in a good, decent time today. All right, so there's the... Hold on. Oh, we missed one. Departed Neuralink co-founder locks down $47 million for secretive neuroscience startup.
Yeah, buddy. Mm-hmm. So this guy, Max Hodek, worked at Neuralink. And he left, or he got fired. Nobody's real sure. He had some disagreements with the King of Mars. And so now he's working on what is apparently a very well-funded new type of brain interface, because we need more of those, right? Hey, EO2 Dave, thanks for the shades. Civilizations have come and gone in the past, and civilizations will come and go in the future. Yes, this is true. So he's working on a new brain interface device with a company that he founded called Science Court, and he apparently stole a bunch of people from Neuralink. He's raised a ton of money to do this, but what's crazy about it is the people that he took with him have very odd specificities in their area of research and work. Okay, like, and let me find this so I don't say this wrong. So right now they're hiring people that focus on neuroscience tech that leverages gene editing and optogenetics. Now, we've talked about optogenetics before. As a matter of fact, I talked about it in the Dreads video, but we've talked about optogenetics, right? They use light to interact with neurons, and they are thinking that this may be something that works through your eye. Okay, we're not sure yet. They're seeking specialists in people that are experienced with CRISPR gene editing. They're looking for people that work with mass production of stem cells, with optics design and surgical tool development. Right, so something similar to Neuralink, but with a harder focus on like bioengineering. Good.
Yeah, this
right?
sounds great.
It's just, and I thought it was worth mentioning because it seems, I don't know. I feel, what up? Pissy Chrissy, Medic Mo, thanks for the cookie. Much love to you, Mama. It just seems potentially sus AF. You know?
Yeah, it does. Oh, yeah,
you know, and then they said they think that it may be a device that actually works on or through your eye, which would be interesting.
Oh, that's good.
Right?
That's great.
I don't know. Guess we'll have to see.
Translation software enables efficient storage of massive amounts of data in DNA molecules.
Yes, for some reason I feel like we've talked about this on this show before.
We have.
Okay, I'm not tripping then. So apparently, you know, there's DARPA, right? The Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. Well, there's also something called IARPA, the Intelligence Advanced Research Projects Agency. And they're working with, of course, Los Alamos, the labs at Los Alamos, to determine how to actually store data on DNA. Now, do you remember when we showed the video, as a matter of fact, we just showed it the other day, where they were showing how that guy at West Point was giving that speech, and it was showing how they could store actually moving pictures in DNA.
Yeah, that was wild.
And transfer it. Okay, now they're saying that they've gone, now that was an older video when we watched it. Now they've gotten to the point where they could actually store the entirety of what's on YouTube. And I mean every video everywhere in a space as small as a refrigerator at this point, right?
Miracle Girl, it came with a cookie. So if there's a bright flash, we could all be upgraded. God wins. Yeah, since you brought that up too, I think it's part of the design of the creator that we upgrade, change dimensions, whatever. It's part of the design, and it's set to go off when it goes off, and it happens how it happens, which I'm not quite sure how that happens, but something like that. Something like that, I think. Go ahead, Foil. Sorry.
Something. Now I forget where I'm at. Well, okay, so the ADS Codex that the team at Los Alamos has built, basically just tells them how to translate the binary data into sequences of 4-letter combinations. Like, DNA, you got adenine, cytosine, guanine, and thymine. Oh, thank you, hubby, for the ship.
Oh, here we go.
Hey, what do you want me to say?
Right.
In any case, they can store all kinds of shit in your DNA now. I mean, for moving pictures, they've made it smaller. They've made it, they're able to put a terabyte worth of data into a very small area. It's crazy. Long story short, I know you're sitting there looking super interested.
No, you don't think there's... I'm listening to you. You don't think there's data stored in our DNA?
Yes, I do. I think there's a ton of data stored in our DNA.
There's a ton of it. We haven't unlocked any of it yet, really. I'm telling you, man, we're gonna be superheroes once we figure it out.
Sean Anon said, "Oh shit, just saw evidence showing DARPA is involved with the Wu flu patent." Listen, DARPA has now funded 3 massive facilities based on molecular farming. That shit I was talking about the other day.
Yeah.
Edible vaccines, plant-based vaccines, genetically altering plants to push us certain chemicals, either directly through ingestion or where they hyper produce certain proteins within the plant and then extract the proteins and then purify it into an injectable form.
Now I don't feel safe being
through
a
plants.
I don't feel safe being a plant eater anymore, unless I grow them myself.
Well, when DARPA is involved with things, I don't trust it.
No, not at all.
Like, those are the maddest of mad scientists, man.
Yeah, those dudes are off the rails.
For
Definitely
sure.
off the rails. Okay, let's see what we got coming up next.
Oh, I hope hubby is still here. Belushi,
Oh,
I actually pulled this with you in mind.
Oh yeah, we got this before we go into UFOs. UFOs disclosure. Oh, and yeah, okay. So let's show this video real quick. You heard her, hubby.
Uh-oh.
Where's the sound? Hold on. Here.
Oh, the robot is green.
There we go. That's crazy.
You see, it said it can. It's the only robot that can truly learn. Wild?
That's wild, man.
So this guy Kevin Warwick, that was literally like a cyborg himself at one point. He's a researcher in cybernetics at the University of Reading, and he's been working on creating neural networks that can control stars. Got it to control the robots, right? Did you see all that? Like, seriously, they've hooked up 3 different at the time that this was done, and this was in 2010. Right? This was in 2010, so God knows where they're at with it now. I just found it the other day and thought it was crazy.
They're not liking this discussion, I guess. The connection was unstable there for a minute.
Oh, well, that and the green on the robot was flashed in your It was matching your green screen. Yes, the brain was in a jar, keep true. They kept the mouse brains in a bell jar, right? And they were able to hook it to the robot and to get the robot to learn from its surroundings just like a mouse would.
That Death Star music was dope, huh, Thumper Rose? I thought so too.
No, it was crazy.
That was pretty good
right?
music there. I enjoyed that. That was good stuff.
Well, apparently, what they did was they took the brain cells from rats, they cultured them, they used them as the guidance control circuit for the robot. Electrical impulses from the robot would enter the neurons, and then the responses from the cells were turned into commands for the robotic device. So yes, the brain was actually thinking and learning.
That's crazy, dude.
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy, dude. That's wild. All right, moving on to that's wild. Moving on to disclosure.
I thought so.
Yeah, super wild. Where are we? Disclosure. Disclosure. Yeah, that's super not. I'm still a little bit spooked about that, dude.
Isn't that crazy?
There's been a couple things that have spooked me today. The toilet story, and the brains and the
right. All up in your shit, man.
It's too much. All right, senators look to continue government-led research into strange UFO sightings. You know, I don't know. Allegedly, the Harvard guys are gonna take this seriously and want answers from the government. Right, Avi Loeb and his crew. I don't know who's all on the crew, but they got a crew going at them, and I think that that's great. When you really get into this, it's like provisions included in the Intelligence Authorization Act for fiscal year 2022, which the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence recently passed via a unanimous bipartisan vote, would direct members of the intelligence community to further explore unidentified aerial phenomena, or the term for UFOs. The work would build on efforts led by the Defense Department UAP Task Force, a group formed to study unexplainable happenings in the sky registered by military members or sensors. Those involved produced a preliminary assessment of which occurrences for USIC and other government leaders earlier this year. Two longtime advocates for more transparency in federal UAP pursuits said the IAA inclusions mark some of many elements needed to ensure America is on top of these sky-based national security concerns. I'm glad that Congress is doing something. My only hope is that it won't be a once and it's over with. There must be an ongoing spending of taxpayer dollars to scientifically look and determine what these things are, because right now we don't know. The more we learn, the more we don't know, former Senate Majority Harry Reid told NextGov. Now the American people can handle this. I'm not worried about that. What I'm worried about is the government trying to hide the information they get. We must be transparent. Ultimately, the lawmakers were looking to put a hard number to exactly how many people had witnessed the unusual sightings, Reid noted. As it turned out, there were thousands of them. We have counts going on for 70 years of people seeing these phenomena. Now it's becoming even more apparent that these unidentified flying phenomena exist. But what they are, we don't know, Reid explained. The more we study, the less we know what they are. But what we do know is that things are developing. What was that word salad?
Shenanigans?
Things are developing.
They're developing.
At a
we don't know
pace.
what.
At
we
a
don't know
snail's
what's going
pace.
on.
And
but something.
They've always been here. They were here in biblical times. They've always been here, and it's well documented. Well, why the charade continues? I don't, at any level. I don't care. Like, everybody knows. What's the first ask when some president gets into office? What's the first thing they ask him in an interview? Did they tell you about the aliens? It's a joke already. That's because everybody knows. They're at different levels of knowing, but they know. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, we don't, what are, like, even Harry Reid, you cannot convince me Harry Reid doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, I really want to feel like he's on our side, he's pushing for but at the same time, Elizondo and
the Clintons and the Rockefellers.
Exactly, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's,
right.
You know what I mean? Okay, so the more we study, the less we know what they are. Really? Somebody knows what they are. It's just a matter of getting that somebody to just, you know what I mean? Like, There's lots of people that know what they are. But what we do know is that things are developing. What does that mean?
It means stuff's happening. You know, we don't know what kind of stuff.
Go ahead.
No, we don't. That's all. We don't know what kind of stuff. It's stuff.
Personnel reported communication systems being shut off when UAPs were observed in the area. So it's something we better stay to hell on top of, because to let it go is not good for the security of the nation. But do you see, it's overwhelming, this whole, they're a threat. They're a threat to national security. They are a threat. We have to investigate them and figure out what they are, because they're a threat. That's the overwhelming theme that you hear anytime this group of characters is talking about this topic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's how they get money, by making everything a threat. We need money.
Well,
that's
yeah,
what that means.
Yeah, that's definitely a part of it. Personnel reported communicate. Okay, I already went over that. All right. Through radar, sonar, and other new equipment, we have pictures that are scientifically saved, Reed said. He and Elizondo noted that France, China, Russia, among others, are likely investing in space. This is a really long article. I just kind of highlighted parts of it, or sentences that I thought were interesting, that kind of, you know what I mean? So he noted that France, China, Russia, and remember, we have heard, which countries have we heard are making their own space forces lately?
Man, all kind of them. China for sure, France for sure.
Well, China for sure, France, but there was a couple other European countries that were doing that too. I could have swore. I can't remember. I wish I could remember. Well, Russia.
Everybody's the UAE is all about the space race.
There does indeed seem to be some sort of nexus between UAP activity and our critical nuclear technology, whether it's propulsion or weapon systems or whatnot, Elizondo said. It's not just our observations. Other countries have observed this as well. The former defense official added that there also seems to be some sort of weird nexus between UAP activity and large bodies of water.
Imagine that.
Why is he going out of his way to say that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just think that. Why is he going out of his way to say that? I mean, I'm a firm believer that the majority of their bases are underwater. But why is he going out of his way to say that? I think is interesting. You know what I mean?
Right.
We've never been in such a golden era of technology and capabilities, Elizondo said. He noted that with the camera-enabled mobile phones, every human being is a potential information collector. This reminded me of Batman. You know that scene when they had all the phones?
Oh, yeah, when he wires all the phones up to the...
Listen to that sentence again. He noted that with camera-enabled mobile phones, every human being is a potential information collector. That's exactly what he's talking about. There's also new ground, sea, and space-based capabilities and radar to capture information. In the 50s, we hadn't really made it into the upper limits of our atmosphere. Now we have geosynchronous satellites. We have low Earth orbit satellites. We've got mid-orbit satellites, Elizondo explained, all looking at the same spots on Earth through a different lens. The 345th section of the Intelligence Authorization Act for the next fiscal year is titled Support for and Oversight of the Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force. Specifically, the legislation would mandate the Defense Secretary and National Intelligence Director to require each element of the intelligence community and the Department of Defense with data relating to unidentified aerial phenomena to make such data available immediately to the Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force and to the National Air and Space Intelligence Center. This bill would expand the task force and Air Force's data and information collection regarding such incidents if passed. It would also direct quarterly reports to Congress on the unfolding efforts. We spend more on a new military airplane than we are spending on this, and we've got to realize that this is just as important as a new military aircraft. Well, they're not spending it on Joe Dirt. I'll tell you that.
Not the Joe Dirt plane.
They ain't spending it on that plane, that's for sure. Yeah, just more, ever since the whole UFO started in the mainstream, it's just been trash and BS. You know what I mean? There's really been nothing of any significance that's come out and moved in the right direction other than Avi and his crew, his Harvard crew, demanding to start, but Reed saying that,
But Alara, there's stuff and it's happening and it's moving right along. That's all the information we need.
That's it.
Right? The thing.
Anyways, so yeah. All right, so the scrapbook for 1957. So this is interesting for anybody that wasn't around then or isn't aware. So UFOs, UFO incidents, ET incidents, aliens, all this used to be talked about openly before it got locked down and became a super classified subject. And then they proceeded to do the PSYOP and start ridiculing the public and anybody who spoke about it.
Right.
But at one time, people spoke openly, and they had these journals, and I don't know, what's the first... They had these journals like this one here.
Yeah, this was like a bi-monthly magazine that they put out specifically.
Flying Saucer Review.
Flying Saucer Review.
How cool is that? Flying Saucer
That's
Review.
That's awesome.
October of 1957.
Look at that. Old school.
Where was the first page we want? Oh, right here.
Oh, yeah, that was kind of crazy. They were talking about, I don't know if you can find it in there. They were talking about a lady, where was it at?
The results
some
above
South American country.
The substance, she's talking about a substance coming out of the ship. The substance analyzed had 88.9% of tin, chemically pure tin. The rest was oxygen, derived from the degree of oxidization of the molten metal in the atmosphere. I can affirm
there was a lady outside feeding her chickens, and she saw a UFO, and liquid metal dripped out of the UFO and then hardened on the ground. Well, they got samples, and when they analyzed it, this is what they found: a damn near chemically pure version of tin that apparently you can't find on Earth.
Yeah, this is just one of many stories in the UFO magazine.
Admitted it.
It's wild. If you really go through here and read the stuff that's in here, like it's how it would be if we didn't have all the classification and the
right.
secret space squirrel program, special access bullshit going on.
Right. I mean, they got like country by country roundups in there. There's all kinds of...
I wonder if they talk about the Men in Black in any of these things. Like, I saw this UFO, and then these two dudes in suits showed up, told me to shut up.
Right.
But I don't think, were the Men in Black not rolling around then? I don't know. Maybe somebody else knows. I don't know.
All right. Sounds like a conspiracy couch, the history of the Men in Black.
The Men in Black, we have our own Men in Black, the government, but the ETs have Men in Black too. The bad ETs. They got Men in Black that go in force. And those ones they're not entirely human. They're not really human. So there's different reports of the regular ones that are just dudes in suits that are trying to intimidate you. And then you've got the reports of the super creepy ones that roll up on people.
The bald ones with no eyebrows.
With no eyebrows that disappear and stuff.
Yeah, those guys?
Those dudes are not human. No. Those dudes are not human. So you've got negative elements, factions of ETs sending Men in Black in to mess with people, and then you have our own government does it too. So it's like, it's crazy. All right, which one should I move to now in here? We'll cover one more, and then we'll jump over to UFOs and then space weather. Which one is good?
I don't know. Scroll through. They're all reported sightings from different countries. And...
Where can you get a copy? Well, I mean, online now is where you get a copy of this. You know what I mean?
I pulled them from Reddit. There were actually.
You found this on Reddit?
Ones. I did.
Oh, wow.
I find all kinds of snaz on Reddit.
Wow. All right. Well, moon cities. What do we got here? Look. Moon cities, strange belief.
Moon cities, for sure. We know there's moon cities. Come on now.
Kepler suggests the lunar craters were pits dug by the inhabitants of the moon as shelters from the heat of the sun and the cold of the nights. Long after the time of Kepler, the very imaginative but good observer, somebody, described fields, forests, roads, and even cities in the moon. One of the cities lay near the crater of such... Okay, well, let's find another one. We need another UFO story. Other planetary systems, flying saucers.
Oh, there you go. Look, tadpole-shaped object.
Oh, here we go. Tadpole-shaped object snapped over Japan. These photographs were taken on the 3rd International Flying Saucer Sighting Day on June 8th. Mr. So-and-so, blah, 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 blah. 2 luminous triangles were seen on the moon's upper limb. 3 minutes later, 2 dark triangles appeared on the lower limb. They approached each other, met, and instantly disappeared. So people would just call into this magazine with their UFO stories and their pictures if they had pictures?
I mean, this is apparently how they had to organize at the time. Like, you would...
Because we didn't have the internet, right.
Yeah,
So you had
you'd
to
have
just
to
call
contact
in.
and
You had to call into UFO magazine, tell them what happened. If you had photos, give them the photos. If you didn't, you just told them, and then somebody's job to type out this monthly magazine.
yeah, they probably clearly collect the stories from all over the place.
Man, I wish my grandparents were still alive. I totally want to ask them about this.
It's interesting to see how things were done then. You know
what's crazy? This stuff runs in my family. I had no clue because my grandparents on my dad's side, they died in like the late 80s, early 90s, somewhere around then. Okay. And they were in their 90s when they passed away. So they were born in the 1800s. Anyway, it's hard to explain. But the point is, I had no clue, but they were taking my dad and his brothers to Giant Rock in the 50s. And UFO, like the very first UFO offense that started up, they were taking my dad. And I had no idea that my grandparents were into UFOs and ufology, and that they actually took my dad and his brothers when they were little kids to Giant Rock.
Well, can you imagine being around like when massive reports of sightings really started? Like it was a wave that swept across the country. Thank you, J Bell, for the ship. She says these two ladies are fan-fucking-tastic. Thank you. We love you.
Thank you, J Bell. I had no idea. So apparently, I don't know. I'm not the first one.
They were all down.
I don't know if they were
UFOs.
experiencers, but I'm guessing they wouldn't have been into that stuff if they weren't experiencers. Usually people that are into that stuff, especially in the 50s. I don't know, but what do I know? I wasn't alive.
I don't
in the
know.
50s.
It was novel at the time. Like this was a new thing. Like, mass reported new thing.
Were any of y'all's grandparents into ufology? I'm curious. How many people out there, your grandparents, you found out your grandparents or your grandparents were into ufology? Put a 1 in the chat, please. I got to see how many people's grandparents out there were.
My
into
grandfather
ufology.
didn't want to hear anything about it, but my grandmother swears that she saw a UFO on her way to a Notre Dame game. That it was over a sign and it was just sitting there. Like, and my grandfather to this day won't. He does. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. But my grandmother swore up and down she saw a UFO. It was like over some sign, like a huge. It was just sitting there chilling.
Yeah, like the ones that don't want to talk about it, they don't want to. It's a hard stop for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he ain't trying to hear it. He's the one that used to always yell at me about my freaking conspiracy theories. That he's now kind of on board. But.
Oh wow! So we got a couple ones rolling through.
Yeah.
So I mean, not many. I could see it's rare. It's rare. Not many of us, our grandparents, were into ufology. So that's interesting to me, because I think it's significant if your grandparents were into that stuff. You know what I mean? Because, yeah. Anyways, I don't know where I was going with all that, but what does a 1.5 mean, Sean? What does that mean? All right, now I've got all these questions from my grandparents, and they're not alive. Like, if they were alive now, I have all these questions for them. You know what I mean?
I know,
like,
right?
About UFOs and Giant Rock, and like I had no clue, dude. But I was like 11 or something when they passed away, at least on that side. So, all right, here we go, guys. Into the UFOs. Why does it say UAP? Oh,
where?
Unidentified flying objects. Here we are. UFOs. All right. So.
This was sent to me by somebody that watches our show. As a matter of fact, let me look so I can give.
James B. McDaniel tweeted this out. It's a killer unexplained video of what some say is a UFO. Some say it's a glitch in the Matrix. Look no further than the video filmed yesterday in Monroe, Louisiana. Let's check this out, guys.
Te hubieras ido por ahí para que lo tomáramos mejor. Para que viéramos exactamente qué es.
It's a cloaked ship.
Yes.
It's malfunctioning though or something because they don't normally look that obvious.
Julie Nash
Te hubieras ido por ahí para que lo tomáramos mejor.
Thank you, Julie.
Para que viéramos exactamente qué es.
It's a cloaked ship.
Did you ever see the one, the video of what looks like a cloud on the ground and it's like in the hood and the people are tripping? Like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
Remember what I'm talking about? The hood cloud.
Yeah, I remember
is
that
like
one.
the cloud is like floating around. Like the people are tripping out. Like what?
Miracle Girlie says maybe I was conceived on a ship. No, I don't. I know where I was conceived. Neither of my parents are into that stuff. Neither of them. I don't know what happened. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm not their kid. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. Mysteries. Unsolved mysteries. We don't know.
Right.
We don't know. All right. But my dad's totally into science fiction, which is what's weird.
That's good though.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on here. What is this? Greenville, South Carolina, USA, March 16th of 2010. Witness photographs triangular object that made no sound. So there's no video for this? It's just a picture?
No, I think they're just the pictures, but they're very good pictures.
There's pictures or what? There's multiple?
Yeah, there's if you click the little arrow on the right in the middle of the picture.
You know, normally the lights are on the outside, but I mean, I'm sure there's ships where the lights are on the inside. Those are really if that's real, and those are whatchamacallit. That's an extremely good picture of a ship. It's very hard to get pictures like that of a ship.
You know what's crazy is that now when people get good pictures, we tend to discredit it because we think that it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like Photoshop. You know, this says Greenville, South Carolina. We've seen people that live in this area come with very good videos recently over their own houses.
Yeah.
You know, I told you I saw the triangular craft when I was driving. It was coming from Ohio to here.
Yeah.
Like, there's all kinds of stuff in South Carolina along the coastline.
I've seen triangles. Let's see how many people in the chat have seen a triangle ship. How many people, let's see. If you have seen a triangle, like a TR-3B type of ship, and you've seen a triangular UFO, put a 1 in the chat. If you've seen, okay, well, let's not complicate it. Don't let me complicate things, Boyle.
Right, just if you've seen the triangle, put a 1 in the chat.
If you've seen the triangle, put a 1 in the chat. If you've seen a triangle.
Right.
Repeat that again, Alara. They didn't hear it the 4 times you said it prior.
Right, one more time. One more
time for good measure.
Right.
Oh, we've got a couple 1s.
Suitor, Kid Cody.
We got a good amount. So far, we don't have any on Fox.
Oh, what up, Jace?
But as far as YouTube and D Live and Twitch, we got a good number of people that have seen a triangle ship. That's interesting. I think that's interesting. A lot of people have seen the triangle ships. Okay, so let's compare that to just UFOs in general. How many people have just seen a UFO of some kind in their life? Put a 2 in the chat if you've just seen a UFO of any kind in your life. Put a 2. I want to see the difference between... Can you see the chat or no? Just me. I love how Divine Facto comes with 1. Yes, it was Arcturian. I saw it with my third eye. I know whose ship it was. I saw it with my third eye. So let's see. All right. So it looks like we don't have that many experiencers over there on the foxhole. We've got a lot on YouTube.
My internet's doing that.
A lot of people that watch this show have seen a UFO. I'd say.
Alara.
What?
My internet's doing that thing again, whether you noticed it or not.
No.
Yeah, it just glitched out. And it's funny because somebody in the chat was just saying I've been having internet problems this whole show. I've been having them all for the past 2 hours.
I can finish the show if you glitch out. We've got a few experiencers over on Foxhole. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people that have seen 7, 8 people that have seen ships. 8 people that have seen ships. Oh,
no, I missed it.
No, I've got about 15 people that have seen ships over there.
What is the 2 for?
The 2 is if you've seen a UFO, but not necessarily a triangle, but you've seen a UFO.
I gotcha.
The 1 is I've just seen a triangle. And I think people put 3s up for people that have maybe or not seen one at all.
Oh, there's a lot of 2s on YouTube and on
Foxhole. That's what I'm saying.
Well.
Most of these people have seen a ship. That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
Especially over there on YouTube and D Live and Twitch. That's wild.
Miranda
but it surprises
Anderson
me how many
I've
people on
seen the
Foxhole.
Big B.
It surprises me how many people on Foxhole have seen a ship.
All
right.
The Big V, like the Phoenix lights, right? Miranda?
All right, what do we got here? We have Fox Glacier, New Zealand, 2019, unknown object with incredible speed, shoots over helicopter, no plane, and a 20-kilometer range. All right, let's check this out real quick. I don't hear any sound. Let's see what's gonna happen.
I don't see anything.
Oh, that's because I need to show you guys the video. I don't see anything happening yet.
Oh, you will. You just missed it. They're going to slow it down. It's that fast.
Oh, there's a ship. Looks like a ship there. Oh, wow. That's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
That's what you said. You didn't see anything in the beginning. It was just that fast.
Oh, J-Bell says she saw a triangle. Oh, that's cool.
Awesome.
Oh, hi, Kimmy says, I never saw anything, but I believe the people that have.
Oh, they're up there.
Yeah, it's my understanding we all get different experiences to expand our consciousness. Some see ships, usually the people that are tied to the ships and the occupants, and others see other things. But whatever it is, they'll have some sort of experience that will give them the opportunity to expand their consciousness and to grow. And so,
right.
and it varies based on who you are. You know what I mean? I mean, I've got theories on why some people see ships and other people do not. They experience other things, but you know, they're just theories. I don't have all the answers. It'd be nice to have them. Cigar-shaped UFO zoom in and stabilization. Let's check this one out. Oh, that looks like a cigar ship there.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
Like lighting up and doing weird stuff.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, wow. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, Gary says just because you ain't seen it doesn't mean it's not real. He's absolutely 100% right. And I think if you want to understand and have your own experience, I think you'll be allowed one at some point. If you have that intent. I've said that before. I just think they have a tendency to wake up and stalk their own people that are down here.
Well, Dodie Danny says, I've had a dream about being in a ship. And then J-Bell said, I'm visited
That's
in my
the same
dreams.
thing.
I think a lot of people.
That's the same thing.
Yes.
So the astral plane is not what we're told it is, and that's the same thing. They can come into the astral plane and do stuff, and it has the same effect on your consciousness, I think. So yeah, if you've had dreams where you're on a ship, you've been on a ship, in my understanding. It's just sometimes they introduce it to people in different ways. It can go through the astral plane, and this is crazy. What are we looking at?
Isn't that crazy?
Here? This is wild.
That's crazy, right? Yeah.
This is wild. Look at that.
I think I found this on Reddit too. Like, there's so much stuff on Reddit.
Yeah, as far as the UFOs being around the nuclear stuff, man, they're just regulating, in my understanding, dude. They're regulating. They have to regulate because we're in that period of our evolution where we're a danger to the whole universe. And so they have to come down here and regulate. They have to watch and they have to regulate so we don't annihilate ourselves.
Well, yeah. I was telling Alara this before the show. I just found out today that apparently there was like a 6-hour-long UFO sighting above Chernobyl. It was witnessed by hundreds of people and reported in Russian media, but it wasn't picked up here, obviously. That's from UFO Sightings Daily's TikTok.
Shout out to Scott at UFO Sightings Daily. Love his work.
I don't know where he's been lately, but...
Did he get this? No.
Yeah, he posted it on his TikTok.
Oh, this guy meditated and called the UFO and it showed up. Some people can do that. It's bizarre. Some people can, I mean, it's happened to me, but I can't just, call them in wherever I'm at whim. But there are some people that literally can. It's wild. I've had experiences where I called them or had the intent or meditated or got with a group of people and they came, but I can't just on cue go outside and be like, ship, come, and they show up.
Right.
Well, I don't have it like that. You know what I mean? Definitely don't have it like that. Yeah. So I don't know why those certain people, they just show up for? I don't know.
是红色的光，
Oh man.
特别
That's
亮。
a buzzkill there.
She's terrified.
Of what? The ship?
Yeah, she's seen the UFOs and started crying. This chick.
那飞行轨迹啊，让我感
It's
觉
a ship, friend.
绝对不是飞机。
She's scared of the ships?
你现在可以看见，这一个飞碟变成了2个飞碟，那个是红色的光，特别
Nana was asking
亮，
about the Chernobyl sighting.
特别亮。
When the reactor was melting down during
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
the reactor meltdown.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
So allegedly, where could we go with that? That they
Well, what they were saying, like as I told you, I was watching a documentary on one of the channels, and what they were saying was that had the reactor exploded, half of Europe would have been done for, just covered in radioactive
Maybe they
materials. Like it
prevented
would
that.
have been a mess. So potentially, they said the thing was up there for like 6 hours. That hundreds of people saw it. That a Russian reporter had reported on it. Of course, it didn't get picked up in the United States, but that potentially, yes, that they had prevented some larger catastrophe.
All right, friends.
I don't know, but who knows?
It's possible. All right.
Right.
Moving on to space weather with Alexis from Ascension Diaries.
Beep, bop, boop, beep.
Beep, bop, boop, beep.
Beep, bop, boop, beep.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another space weather update. My name is Alexis of Ascension Diaries. Of course, today is Sunday, August 29th. It is currently 2:53 p.m. Pacific Standard Time when I'm recording this, and tonight this report will be featured on 1 Foot and 5D's Space Force News episode number 49. So come join us tonight, and at around 8:08 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I myself will be going live to discuss space weather because we have a lot to talk about, and I might even watch some other YouTubers' reports on my stream with you tonight because there is a lot that's been going on. Our current moon is in the last quarter phase in the sign of Gemini. Next Sunday when I see you, we will be in the new moon in Leo, which involves the heart. So we're going to have the next Sunday is going to be interesting. Biggest news right now is that we are in a solar flare party. Basically, we have been having solar flares consistently going into C and M class even, which is mid-level solar flares there. We had one large M class on this Saturday, just around 24 hours ago. This is really fresh information. But we were seeing the behavior of these solar flares coming in over the last week, basically. But the biggest one was this last Saturday. And we are currently in the conditions to be receiving a lot of these CMEs and ejections today even. And so I actually passed out on the couch around noon, which is not like me at all. I slept for about an hour, and then I watched some reports saying, hey, those CMEs are going to be impacting today. And I was like, oh, that might have been why I completely just left my body in the middle of the day. And here's another example of just a big juicy CME and heading our way and washing over us. There's actually two, which you can see here in both these models. In a way, they aren't fully aligned, these two models, but I have been watching the CMEs racing towards us and watching them pop out of this particular graphic around the 26th, the 27th. You saw that bright flash there. And even into the 28th, there's been some CME ejections, like you can see. So we are for sure in a very busy alleyway of solar activity. All of these bright spots here, and even down here, this is where the large M-class solar flare left yesterday. And that area is also in a way kind of dissipating in its power and in its polarity, I was seeing today. So we shouldn't see too much more power coming out of there. But yes, the 28th we had our biggest storm, and tonight we may still be expecting a lot of aurora borealis. Those of you hanging out in the northern hemisphere, those Canadians and Europeans over there, check out the Aurora Borealis tonight and see what you can see, because the predictions are that there's going to be more solar wind impacting, and we're currently seeing those numbers kind of increase as I'm reporting to you now. The solar wind behavior and the polarity shifts on the surface of the sun have been quite interesting the last 24 hours. So anything can really happen. This Schumann resonance is also showing behavior over the last 2 days in the lower brainwave area. I would say from around 2 hertz to around 13 hertz. We're seeing most of the amplification, which is from delta, theta, alpha brainwave areas, but we aren't amplifying the beta brainwave and gamma brainwave states as much. And here's some more information about the amplitude of the specific Schumann resonance or Earth resonance. It wasn't too high in the most recent activity that's happening right now this afternoon, a 27 amplitude, but the Q factor is actually jumping up for the 4th Schumann resonance in an interesting way. Fun notes. We can go into that more tonight. Italy is in the lower range of data right now. The biggest amount of information that they're offering is from the 24th, an episode on the 24th, which is fine. I'm also seeing a little bit more information here from Alberta, Canada. The stations there are also picking up on a bit of light. If you want any of these resources, go to my link tree and go to Space Weather Links, pick your favorite, start watching it on your own. Even the Global Consciousness dot has been hanging out in the greens and blues today, so it's not all bad. And tonight we'll go over the post from my last week on my Instagram and on my blog, and we will get all the information we need. And until then, I will see you tonight.
Beep bubble beep. Yeah, so Alexis's stream, she does an extended space weather kind of chill stream over on her channel. That is going to be directly after this show. It almost always is every Sunday night. So definitely go and check out her.
Go check that out. And thank you, Phil Christophers, for the super chat. He says, "So sorry I missed the bulk of this. That's why there's replay, sir. No worries. We love you."
And I always post the link to her. Well, I usually always post the link to her her show over on my Telegram channel, so that way everybody can find it. But if one of the mods can drop the link, or if Alexis is in here or Jason, they can drop the link to her live stream. That would be awesome if you could do that in the chats. All right, so let's see what's going on this week. Foil, what do you got going on this week?
I'll be live Tuesday at 7 with something.
You don't know what
don't know
yet.
What.
Just
right.
Last minute foil. Last minute foil.
I'm waiting on somebody special to confirm, so we will see.
All right.
Maybe.
Surprises. What about Friday? You got conspiracy theory trivia with Tyler?
Conspiracy theory trivia. Yeah, Tyler should be back.
All right, cool.
We will have conspiracy theory trivia. What are we talking about? Soul tomorrow, right?
Oh yeah. So you guys, we've moved the conspiracy couch now. We are doing it during the daytime on Mondays. So tomorrow from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern. All the same platforms that we're normally on. So D, all the above. Tomorrow's episode is going to be on the human soul and consciousness. So this is going to be a good one. This is a topic I cannot wait to discuss with everybody. This is going to be great. It's going to be exciting to hear other people's thoughts with the calls and all that. I'm thoroughly gonna enjoy this episode. So yeah, tomorrow, Conspiracy Couch, 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern, the human soul. I will be on with Methods to Madness, Wednesday, 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern, on the Foxhole, D-Live, Rockfin, Pilled, Twitch. I think that's all of them.
Everywhere.
Yeah, right. What else? Am I forgetting any other shows? I don't think so. I think that's it for what's coming up.
I think that's
it for what's coming up. Big thank you to the mods. Thank you so much for your hard work.
We love you.
Really appreciate you. Thank you to everybody who supports this channel and shows us love. We really appreciate you. And all our viewers. We absolutely love our Spacetriots and love our Sunday nights here with you guys. We really look forward to it all week. So thank you.
For sure. You guys are the reason, right?
Yeah.
Always makes me feel better when we have these shows.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I think that's about it, Foil. We're down for the count, Spacetriots.
All right, you're gonna do the scratching and the lemons.
Oh, the scratching and the lemons. What would I do without her, guys? It would be a disaster if I didn't have her.
Shenanigans.
Be forgetting stuff left and right. All right, let me go ahead and mute here and release the scratching for everyone. All right, release scratching.
Oh, thank you for the cookie, Miracle Girl.
Scratching is released.
Storm Riders on Friday with Alara at 8:30 Eastern.
Oh, thank you so much.
Wait, what are you doing?
Yeah, I totally forgot. When is the date? What did she say? Can you grab that?
Friday with Alara. It says
yes,
Friday.
I will be on Gino Revan's channel, the show that he does with Miracle Girly. I will be on Friday at what time did she say?
8:30.
8:30. I was thinking the meeting was this week, but not the show.
No.
So
Thank
Friday, 8:30
Dave.
p.m. I get to have the honor and pleasure of hanging out with Miracle Girly and Gino Revan. What are we going to be discussing? Did we just get a final decision on that, Miracle Girly? Because I'm not totally positive which topic it's going to be that we're going to talk about. But yeah, I'll be on with them. I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, let's see here.
EO2 Dave gave us a cookie and said star-oriented navigation systems were before GPS.
Oh, well, I mean, that's true. It's definitely true. All right, it doesn't pull up over here like an idiot. What am I doing? What am I doing? Is she dropping all the information on that Friday show, Foil, so we can let people know?
I haven't seen it pop up yet.
Has she dropped the topic?
Yeah, if she does, I'll grab it.
I'm not 100% clear
Energy
on the topic,
and the...
so.
Are you trolling Miracle Girly?
Energy and... No, she's dead serious, because we were talking about it early today, so that means that's probably it. She had brought up a different subject before, so I wasn't sure which one we were going to cover.
Alara gives the best explanations of the Schumann resonance, clearly.
Yeah. You thought she was trolling, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
I mean, it would make sense that she's trolling, honestly. But no, she's not. She's not trolling. Energy and the Schumann resonance. So yeah, come and hang out with us on Friday, guys. Those two are amazing. I love hanging out with them. Awesome human beings. And it won't matter what we talk about. It'll be a lot of fun.
Right.
A good time.
Always fun.
So there go the lemons out on D Live, guys. Get your lemons. Get your lemons. Get your lemons. And yeah, I think that.
What else? All right. Well,
me on that whole thing. Boy, that was. Where's the?
You guys. You guys know what it is. Like, share, subscribe. We need, best thing you can do for us. If you want to support Space Force News Live, you can donate directly. The Cash App and the Venmo are in the description below. Also, one of the best ways to support us is by making sure you are using one of the free speech platforms. That means if you are watching on DLive, if you are watching on YouTube, and you have not made a free Rockfin account and gone over and followed our channels, I don't know what you're doing with your life. You can also go to pill.net. Make you an account over there. It's free. Get the Foxhole app. Come hang out with the Foxhole fam. Best place in the world to be.
Oh, I just lost my screen. I don't know what just happened. Hold on.
Well, and that's all right.
Oh, dude. I like legit. I don't even have OBS.
Well, are we going to be hanging out here?
You gotta be
if you can end it, you can end it. You guys know what it is. Catch us live next Sunday here at 9 for another awesome episode of Space Force News Live. And until then, keep your eyes on the skies and for sure stay loyal.
We are your news in this dimension and the next. See you next week, Space Patriots. Good night.